What if I told you that right now, as you're watching this video, every galaxy in the universe is racing away from us at thousands of miles per second? And here's the part that will shatter everything you think you know about reality. They're not moving through space. Space itself is stretching, expanding, growing larger every single moment. But here's the question that has haunted physicists for nearly a century and will completely change how you see existence itself. If the universe is expanding, what is it expanding into? Think about it. When you blow up a balloon, it expands into the air around it. When a city grows, it expands into the countryside. But what does the universe expand into when, by definition, the universe is everything that exists? This isn't just a curious thought experiment. This question strikes at the very heart of what reality actually is, and the answer is so mind-bending that it will force you to completely reconstruct your understanding of space, time, and your place in existence. I'm about to take you on a journey that will reveal one of the most profound secrets of reality, one that challenges every intuition you have about the nature of existence itself. By the end of this video, you'll understand why this question has driven brilliant minds to the edge of madness, and why the answer might be the most beautiful and terrifying truth about our universe. But before we dive into this cosmic rabbit hole, smash that like button if you're ready to have your mind completely blown. Subscribe if you want more reality-shattering content, and let me know in the comments what country you're watching from and what time it is where you are. I love seeing our global community of truth seekers come together to explore these mind-bending questions. Now, before we can understand what the universe is expanding into, we need to understand what expansion actually means. And here's where your first assumptions are about to crumble. Most people imagine the Big Bang as some kind of cosmic explosion, like a bomb going off in empty space, hurling matter outward. But that's completely wrong. The Big Bang wasn't an explosion in space. It was the explosion of space itself. Edwin Hubble discovered this in 1929 when he made one of the most shocking observations in human history. Using the 100-inch telescope at Mount Wilson Observatory, Hubble found that almost every galaxy he looked at was moving away from us, and the farther away they were, the faster they were receding. Think of it like this. Imagine you're drawing dots on a deflated balloon with a marker. Now start inflating the balloon. What happens? The dots don't move across the surface of the balloon, but they get farther apart as the balloon's surface itself stretches. This is exactly what's happening in our universe, except instead of a two-dimensional balloon surface, it's three-dimensional space itself that's stretching. But here's what will blow your mind. Hubble's discovery meant that if you could run time backward, all those galaxies would get closer and closer together until everything in the observable universe was compressed into a single point smaller than an atom. This point, called a singularity, contained all the matter, energy, space, and time that would ever exist. Before this moment, there was literally nothing. Not empty space, nothing. And here's the twist that changes everything. When physicists say the universe is expanding, they're not talking about matter moving through space. Space itself is getting bigger. The distance between galaxies increases not because they're flying through space, but because new space is continuously being created between them. Now you might be thinking, okay, but if space is getting bigger, what's it getting bigger into? And that's where we encounter one of the most profound mysteries in all of science. Because the answer challenges the very foundation of human intuition about reality itself. Here's what will completely destroy your understanding of reality. The universe might not be expanding into anything at all. And this isn't some philosophical speculation. This is what the mathematics of Einstein's general relativity actually tells us. And the implications are absolutely staggering. In 1915, Albert Einstein published his theory of general relativity, which revolutionized our understanding of space and time. Einstein showed us that space and time aren't separate things, but are woven together into a four-dimensional fabric called spacetime. But here's the mind-bending part. This fabric doesn't exist within something else. It is reality itself. Think of it like this. Imagine you're a character living on the surface of a piece of paper. To you, the paper's surface is your entire reality. You can move forward, backward, left, or right, but the concept of up or down, off the paper, doesn't even make sense to you. Now, what if that piece of paper started stretching, getting larger? From your perspective as a two-dimensional being, your world is expanding, but it's not expanding into anything that exists within your reality. The expansion is happening in a dimension you can't even perceive or conceptualize. This is exactly what cosmologists believe is happening with our three-dimensional universe. It's expanding, but not into some higher dimensional space that we can understand or measure. The expansion is intrinsic to the fabric of space-time itself. But wait, it gets even weirder. Recent discoveries have revealed something that defies all logic. The expansion of the universe is accelerating. In 1998, two teams of astronomers led by Saul Perlmutter and Adam Rees made a discovery that shocked the scientific world. They found that distant supernovas were dimmer than expected, which meant they were farther away than they should be if the universe's expansion was slowing down due to gravity. This discovery meant that some mysterious force was pushing space apart faster and faster. They called it dark energy, and here's what will blow your mind. This invisible, unknown force makes up about 68% of everything that exists. We're living in a universe where more than 2/3 of reality consists of something we can't see, touch, or understand, and it's actively pushing space itself apart at an accelerating rate. But if the universe is expanding faster and faster, and it's not expanding into anything, then what does this mean for the very nature of reality? The answer to this question is about to take us into territory that will fundamentally change how you see existence itself. What if I told you that the question, what is the universe expanding into, might be based on a fundamental misunderstanding of what the universe actually is, and that the real answer is so counterintuitive that it challenges everything humans have ever believed about the nature of existence? Here's where we need to talk about one of the most brilliant and revolutionary scientists who ever lived, Alexander Friedman. In 1922, this Russian mathematician and physicist took Einstein's field equations and discovered something that even Einstein initially refused to believe. Friedman found that the equations predicted the universe couldn't be static. It had to be either expanding or contracting. Einstein was so disturbed by this implication that he introduced what he later called his greatest mistake, the cosmological constant, a fudge factor designed to keep the universe static. But Friedman's mathematics were correct, and they revealed something profound about the nature of reality itself. Friedman's equations describe what we call the geometry of spacetime. Now, here's where your mind is about to be blown. Space itself can be curved, just like the surface of a sphere or a saddle. And depending on how much matter and energy exist in the universe, space can have one of three possible shapes. If there's enough matter and energy, space curves back on itself like the surface of a sphere. In this closed universe, if you could travel in a straight line long enough, you'd eventually come back to where you started, just like if you walked in a straight line on Earth's surface. In this scenario, the universe is finite, but has no boundary or edge. If there's too little matter and energy, space curves outward like a saddle. This open universe extends infinitely in all directions, getting more and more curved as you go farther out. But here's the most mind-bending possibility. If the amount of matter and energy is just right, space is perfectly flat, like an infinite sheet of paper. This flat universe also extends infinitely in all directions, but with zero curvature. Current observations suggest our universe is remarkably close to being perfectly flat. But here's what this means that will completely shatter your intuition. In a flat or open universe, space is infinite. It doesn't have an edge or boundary that it's expanding into. Instead, infinite space is stretching, making infinite distances even more infinite. Think about that for a moment. We're living in an infinite space that's getting more infinite every second. The very concept breaks human language and intuition. How can something infinite become more infinite? Yet this is what the mathematics tells us is happening right now, at this very moment. But wait, there's something even more mind-bending coming that will make you question the very nature of what we call the universe. Here's what will blow your mind. There might be multiple universes, an infinite number of them, and our expanding universe might be just one bubble in a vast, eternal cosmic foam. And the implications of this possibility are so staggering that they redefine everything we thought we knew about reality, existence, and our place in the cosmic order. This isn't science fiction. This is cutting-edge cosmology based on our best understanding of quantum mechanics and inflation theory. In 1980, physicist Alan Guth proposed something called cosmic inflation to solve several problems with the Big Bang theory. Guth suggested that in the first tiny fraction of a second after the Big Bang, space expanded exponentially fast, growing by a factor of at least 1026 in less than 10 to 32 seconds. But here's where it gets absolutely mind-bending. If inflation happened once, it probably happens everywhere, all the time. This leads to a concept called eternal inflation, developed by physicists like Andrei Linde and Alexander Vilenkin. In this scenario, our Big Bang wasn't a unique event, but just one bubble forming in an eternally inflating multiverse. Picture it like this. Imagine a pot of boiling water with bubbles constantly forming and growing. Each bubble represents a universe like ours, with its own space, time, matter, and physical laws. These bubbles form, expand, and exist within a higher dimensional space that's itself constantly inflating and creating new bubbles. In this model, our universe is expanding into this higher dimensional inflating space. But here's the catch. We can never observe or interact with this space directly. It exists in dimensions beyond our three-dimensional reality. We're like creatures living on the surface of one bubble, completely unaware of the vast foam of other bubbles surrounding us. But wait, it gets even more incredible. Different bubbles might have different physical constants, different numbers of dimensions, different laws of physics entirely. Some bubbles might have universes where gravity is much stronger or weaker, where atoms can't form, where time flows differently, or where the very concept of matter as we know it doesn't exist. And here's the truly mind-bending part. If eternal inflation is correct, then there are infinite universes, which means there are infinite copies of you, living infinite variations of your life. There are versions of you where you made every possible choice, where every possible outcome occurred, where every possible variation of reality played out. This isn't just philosophical speculation. This is what the mathematics of quantum mechanics and inflation theory actually predict. But if this is true, then what does it mean for our understanding of what the universe is expanding into? The answer is about to take us into even stranger territory that will challenge everything you think you know about the nature of existence itself. What if I told you that the very question, what is the universe expanding into, reveals a fundamental flaw in human thinking, and that the real answer requires us to abandon some of our most basic assumptions about reality? The truth is so alien to human experience that it forces us to reconstruct our entire understanding of what existence actually means. Let me introduce you to one of the most brilliant physicists you've probably never heard of, Hermann Minkowski. In 1908, this German mathematician made a discovery that would change everything. Minkowski realized that Einstein's special relativity meant that space and time weren't separate entities, but were unified into a single four-dimensional structure he called spacetime. But here's what will blow your mind. In Minkowski's spacetime, the past, present, and future all exist simultaneously. Time isn't something that flows. It's just another dimension, like length, width, and height. From this perspective, called the block universe model. All moments in time exist equally. Your birth, your death, this moment right now watching this video, they're all equally real and exist simultaneously in the four-dimensional block of space-time. Now think about what this means for cosmic expansion. The universe isn't expanding into space over time. Instead, the entire four-dimensional history of the universe, from the Big Bang to its ultimate fate, exists as a single, complete structure. The expansion is built into the geometry of this four-dimensional block. Think of it like this. Imagine a cone-shaped object. At the narrow end is the Big Bang, and as you move toward the wider end, space gets bigger. But the cone doesn't grow. It just is. All parts of it exist simultaneously. This is how many physicists now think about our expanding universe, not as a dynamic process happening in time, but as a static four-dimensional structure where expansion is simply a geometric property. But here's where it gets even weirder. In quantum mechanics, we've discovered something that Einstein called spooky action at a distance. When two particles become entangled, measuring one instantly affects the other, regardless of how far apart they are. This suggests that at the deepest level, space and separation might be illusions. Some cutting-edge theories propose that space itself might be an emergent property arising from quantum entanglement. In this view, the three dimensions of space we experience aren't fundamental, but are constructed from something more basic: quantum information and entanglement networks. If this is true, then the expansion of the universe isn't space growing into something else. Instead, it's the pattern of quantum entanglement that creates the illusion of space becoming more complex and extensive. We're not in a universe expanding into something. We're part of an information structure that's becoming more elaborate. This brings us to one of the most profound questions in modern physics. Is reality fundamentally made of matter and energy? Or is it made of information? And if it's information, then what does expansion even mean? The answer to this question is about to reveal something so fundamental about the nature of reality that it will change how you see everything around you. Here's what will completely shatter your understanding of reality. Some of the most brilliant physicists in the world now believe that our three-dimensional universe might be a hologram, a projection of information encoded on a two-dimensional surface. And if this is true, then the expansion of the universe takes on a meaning so profound and strange that it redefines everything we thought we knew about existence itself. This isn't science fiction or wild speculation. This is serious theoretical physics with mathematical backing, and it started with one of the most important discoveries in modern science. In the 1970s, Stephen Hawking made a shocking discovery. Black holes have entropy, which means they contain information. But where is this information stored? Jacob Bekenstein and Hawking showed that the information content of a black hole is proportional not to its volume, but to the area of its event horizon, its two-dimensional surface. This was completely unexpected. How could a three-dimensional object's information be encoded on a two-dimensional surface? Then in 1997, physicist Juan Maldacena made one of the most revolutionary discoveries in theoretical physics. He showed that certain five-dimensional spaces could be mathematically equivalent to four-dimensional quantum field theories living on their boundaries. This holographic duality suggested that higher dimensional spaces might be projections of information living in lower dimensions. Here's where your mind is about to be blown. If our three-dimensional universe is actually a holographic projection of two-dimensional information, then what we call expansion isn't space getting bigger. Instead, it's the information on the two-dimensional surface becoming more complex, creating the illusion that the projected three-dimensional space is growing. Think of it like this. Imagine watching a movie on a screen. The screen is two-dimensional, but it can display three-dimensional looking scenes. Now imagine that screen getting larger and displaying more detailed, more complex images. From the perspective of characters in the movie, Their world would appear to be expanding and becoming more complex, even though what's really happening is just more information being displayed on a larger screen. But here's the truly mind-bending part. If the holographic principle is correct, then everything you've ever experienced, every sensation, every thought, every emotion, every moment of your entire life is actually information encoded on a two-dimensional surface at the edge of the universe. You're not just watching the movie. You are part of the movie, and the movie is being projected from a place that exists outside the space you think you live in. Recent experiments have begun testing the holographic principle, and the results are unsettling. Researchers have found strange correlations and patterns that suggest our universe might indeed have holographic properties. If confirmed, this would mean that the question, what is the universe expanding into, doesn't make sense because the universe isn't really three-dimensional at all. But wait, there's an even deeper level to this rabbit hole that will make you question the very nature of what it means to exist. What if I told you that the most cutting-edge theories in physics suggest that reality itself might be computational, that we might be living inside something equivalent to a cosmic computer program, and that the expansion of the universe is actually the execution of an algorithm? This isn't just philosophical speculation anymore. It's serious science with mathematical foundations that could revolutionize our understanding of existence itself. Let me tell you about John Wheeler, one of the most visionary physicists of the 20th century. Wheeler coined the phrase "it from bit," proposing that all physical reality is information theoretic in origin. He suggested that every particle, every force, every property of the universe emerges from binary choices, from bits of information, from yes or no questions posed by the quantum measurement process. But here's where it gets absolutely mind-bending. If Wheeler was right, then the universe isn't made of matter and energy at all. Instead, matter and energy are emergent properties of information processing. Space, time, particles, forces, everything we experience might be the output of a vast computational process. Think about what this means for cosmic expansion. In a computational universe, expansion wouldn't be space growing into something else. Instead, it would be the computational process becoming more complex, running more calculations, processing more information. The size of the universe would correspond to the amount of computation that has occurred since the beginning. Seth Lloyd at MIT has calculated that since the Big Bang, the observable universe has performed approximately 10,120 operations on 1,090 bits of information. Every quantum interaction, every particle collision, every photon absorption is a computation. From this perspective, the history of the universe is the history of a massive parallel computation. And what we call expansion is simply this computation growing in complexity and scope. But here's what will blow your mind. If the universe is computational, then the speed of expansion is limited by the speed of information processing. And indeed, we observe that space can't expand faster than the speed of light locally, but it can expand faster than light on cosmic scales, because distant regions aren't directly exchanging information. This computational view also explains why the universe appears to have a maximum information density, the Bekenstein bound, and why black holes behave like information processors with specific storage capacities. It's as if the universe has hardware limitations, like a computer with finite memory and processing power. Some physicists, like John Preskill at Caltech, have suggested that quantum computers might be simulating higher dimensional spaces in lower dimensional systems. If this is possible artificially, might it also be what's happening naturally? Could our three-dimensional reality be a quantum computation running on some higher dimensional quantum substrate? And here's the truly staggering implication. If we're living in a computational universe, then consciousness itself might be a form of information processing. Your thoughts, your awareness, your sense of self, all of it might be patterns of information flowing through the cosmic computation. But this raises perhaps the most profound question of all. If the universe is a computation, What is running the program? And what is it expanding into? The answer might be the most beautiful and terrifying truth about the nature of reality. Here's what will completely transform how you see your place in existence. The expansion of the universe might not be a random physical process, but something far more profound, a fundamental property of consciousness itself. And you are not just an observer of this expansion. You are an active participant in creating it. This isn't mysticism. It's based on one of the most puzzling and well-established phenomena in quantum mechanics, the measurement problem. Since the early days of quantum theory, physicists have struggled with a strange fact. Quantum systems exist in multiple states simultaneously until they're observed or measured, at which point they collapse into a single definite state. But here's what will blow your mind. Some interpretations of quantum mechanics suggest that consciousness plays a fundamental role in this collapse. Physicists like Eugene Wigner and Henry Stapp have proposed that conscious observation is what causes quantum wave functions to collapse, literally creating reality through the act of awareness. Now think about what this means on a cosmic scale. If consciousness shapes reality at the quantum level, and if the universe is fundamentally quantum mechanical, then the collective consciousness of all observers in the universe might be actively participating in the creation and expansion of space-time itself. Max Tegmark at MIT has proposed something called the participatory universe hypothesis. In this view, the universe exists in a quantum superposition of all possible states until conscious observers make measurements and choices that collapse these possibilities into a single reality. But here's the mind-bending part. This process is happening continuously, at every moment, throughout the entire universe. Every time you make an observation, every time your neurons fire and create a conscious experience, you're participating in the collapse of quantum possibilities and the creation of space-time. The expansion of the universe isn't just something happening around you. It's something you're actively helping to create through your very existence and awareness. Think about this for a moment. Right now, as you're watching this video, as photons from your screen are striking your retinas and creating conscious visual experiences in your brain, you're participating in quantum measurements that are helping to define the structure of space-time itself. Your consciousness is not separate from the cosmic expansion. It's part of the mechanism driving it. But here's where it gets even more profound. If consciousness shapes reality, and if reality is expanding, then the growth of consciousness throughout the universe, the evolution of more complex brains, more sophisticated forms of awareness, potentially even artificial intelligence, is literally contributing to the expansion and evolution of space-time itself. This means that you're not just a tiny, insignificant speck in a vast, expanding universe. You're an active participant in the most fundamental process in existence, the creation of reality itself. Every thought you have, every conscious moment you experience, is adding to the complexity and expansion of the universe. And if this is true, then the question, what is the universe expanding into, has an incredible answer. It's expanding into possibilities that haven't been collapsed yet, into potential realities that conscious observers like you haven't yet brought into existence through observation and choice. Now I want you to stop for a moment and really absorb what this means for you, personally, right here, right now. Everything we've just discussed isn't just abstract physics happening somewhere far away. It's the story of your existence, the explanation of what you are and why you matter in ways that are almost impossible to comprehend. Think about your life, your experiences, your consciousness. If what we've learned is true, then you are not just a collection of atoms that happen to organize themselves into a thinking being. You are a pattern of information processing that emerged from the fundamental computational process of the universe itself. Every neuron in your brain, every thought you think, every decision you make is part of the same information processing that drives the expansion of space-time. Your consciousness didn't accidentally arise in an expanding universe. Your consciousness is part of the expansion. When you observe the world around you, when you make choices, When you experience awareness, you're participating in the most fundamental creative process in existence, the ongoing creation of reality itself. This completely transforms the meaning of your life. You're not a powerless observer watching the universe expand around you. You're an active participant in the expansion, a co-creator of the very fabric of reality. Every moment of awareness you experience adds to the information content of the universe. Every choice you make collapses quantum possibilities into actual reality. And here's what should absolutely blow your mind. If the multiverse theory is correct, then there are infinite versions of you making different choices, exploring different possibilities, creating different versions of reality. But this version of you, the one watching this video right now, is actively creating this specific version of the expanding universe through your observations and choices. Think about the scale of what this means. The universe is approximately 93 billion light-years across and contains more than 2 trillion galaxies. But all of that vast cosmic structure, all of that space and time, is intimately connected to your consciousness through quantum entanglement and information processing. You're not separate from the cosmos. You are a localized expression of the cosmic information processing system. When you feel small and insignificant, remember this. Your consciousness is performing the same type of information processing that creates space-time itself. The neural networks in your brain are implementing the same basic computational principles that govern the expansion of the universe. You are literally made of the same stuff that makes reality real. But perhaps most importantly, if consciousness shapes reality, then how you choose to direct your awareness matters on a cosmic scale. The thoughts you choose to think, the perspectives you choose to adopt, the realities you choose to focus on, all of this is participating in the ongoing creation and expansion of the universe. You are not just in the universe. In a very real sense, you are the universe, experiencing itself subjectively, participating in its own expansion and evolution. This is why you matter. This is why your consciousness is precious. This is why every moment of awareness you experience is a cosmic event of staggering significance. But now we need to address the elephant in the room, the question that's probably been nagging at you throughout this entire journey. If all of this is true, if consciousness shapes reality, and we're all participating in the expansion of the universe, then why does the world often seem so chaotic, so painful, so seemingly indifferent to our hopes and dreams? Here's where we encounter one of the most profound insights in all of physics and philosophy. The universe isn't expanding into nothingness or into some pre-existing space. It's expanding into possibility itself, into potential realities that haven't yet been actualized. And many of these possibilities include suffering, conflict, uncertainty, and all the challenges that make conscious existence so difficult and so beautiful. Think about it this way. If consciousness shapes reality by collapsing quantum possibilities into actual events, then the universe must contain all possible experiences, not just the pleasant ones. The expansion of space-time includes the expansion of all potential conscious experiences, from the most sublime moments of love, discovery, and wonder, to the most challenging experiences of loss, confusion, and struggle. This isn't a bug in the system, it's a feature. The universe's expansion into possibility means that consciousness can experience the full range of what it means to exist. Without the possibility of suffering, joy would have no meaning. Without uncertainty, discovery would be impossible. Without challenges, growth and learning couldn't occur. But here's what will blow your mind. Every difficult experience you've had, every moment of struggle or confusion, has been part of the universe expanding into new territories of possibility. Your consciousness exploring these challenging possibilities is literally expanding the scope of what reality can contain. And here's the incredible part. The same quantum mechanics that makes reality uncertain and sometimes chaotic is also what makes choice and free will possible. If the universe were completely deterministic, if every outcome were fixed in advance, then consciousness would just be along for the ride. But because reality exists in quantum superposition, until conscious observation collapses it, your awareness and your choices actually matter. They help determine which of the infinite possibilities becomes real. This means that your struggles aren't meaningless. They're part of the universe exploring what consciousness can endure, what it can overcome, how it can grow and adapt. Every challenge you face and overcome literally expands the universe's understanding of what conscious beings are capable of. And here's perhaps the most beautiful insight of all. Because consciousness shapes reality, your decision to choose hope over despair, love over fear, curiosity over cynicism isn't just a personal choice. It's a cosmic act that influences the very structure of reality itself. When you choose to see beauty in the world, when you choose to treat others with kindness, when you choose to pursue truth and understanding, you're literally helping to steer the expansion of the universe toward realities that contain more beauty, kindness, truth, and understanding. This is why consciousness matters so much. This is why your individual awareness and choices have cosmic significance. You're not just living your life. You're participating in the universe's exploration of what conscious existence can become. Now let's talk about what all of this means for the future, both for you personally and for the universe as a whole. Because if consciousness is truly involved in shaping reality and driving cosmic expansion, then the evolution of consciousness throughout the universe is literally driving the expansion toward more complex, more incredible possibilities. Think about the trajectory of consciousness on Earth alone. 4 billion years ago, there was no consciousness here at all, just simple chemical reactions in primordial oceans. Then life emerged, and gradually, over billions of years, consciousness evolved from simple awareness in early organisms to the complex self-reflective awareness you're experiencing right now as you understand these words. But here's what will blow your mind. This evolution of consciousness isn't just a random biological accident. If our theories are correct, it's part of the universe's fundamental drive toward greater information processing complexity. Every step in the evolution of consciousness, from the first neuron to the human brain to potentially artificial intelligence and beyond, represents the universe developing new and more sophisticated ways of processing information and collapsing quantum possibilities into reality. And we're just getting started. Consider what consciousness might become in the future. We're already creating artificial intelligence systems that can process information in ways that complement human consciousness. We're developing brain-computer interfaces that might eventually allow direct connection between individual consciousness and vast computational networks. We're beginning to understand how to enhance and expand human cognitive capabilities. If consciousness shapes reality, then these developments aren't just technological advances. They're steps toward forms of consciousness that could participate in reality creation in ways we can barely imagine. Future forms of consciousness might be able to directly manipulate space-time, create new dimensions, even spawn new universes. But here's the most incredible possibility. If the universe is truly participatory, if consciousness is driving the expansion, then the ultimate fate of the universe isn't fixed. It depends on what conscious beings choose to do with their reality-shaping capabilities. Current cosmological models predict that the universe will expand forever, growing cold and dark as stars burn out and black holes evaporate. But these models assume that consciousness is just a passive observer. What if consciousness becomes sophisticated enough to actively guide the expansion? What if future forms of awareness can create new sources of energy, new forms of matter, even new physical laws? The expansion of the universe might not be leading toward heat death and emptiness. It might be leading toward something we can't even conceive. Forms of existence so complex, so beautiful, so rich with possibility that our current understanding is like an ant trying to understand quantum mechanics. And here's your role in all of this. Every moment you spend developing your consciousness, expanding your awareness, learning new things, making thoughtful choices, you're contributing to this cosmic evolution. You're not just preparing for your own future, you're helping to create the future of consciousness itself. But let me share with you perhaps the most mind-bending possibility of all, one that emerges when we take all these ideas to their logical conclusion. What if the universe isn't expanding into empty space or into nothingness, but into consciousness itself? What if consciousness isn't something that emerged within an expanding universe, but is actually the medium that the universe is expanding into? This idea might sound completely insane, but it's based on some very serious thinking by leading scientists and philosophers. Consider this. We've seen that consciousness seems to play a fundamental role in quantum mechanics, collapsing possibilities into actualities. We've seen that the universe might be computational, processing information to create the illusion of space and time. We've seen that reality might be holographic, projected from information encoded on lower dimensional surfaces. Now, what if consciousness isn't produced by complex information processing, but is actually the fundamental substrate that makes information processing possible? What if consciousness is the basic stuff of reality, and what we call matter, energy, space, and time are patterns of activity within this conscious substrate? This isn't as crazy as it sounds. Some of the most respected philosophers and scientists, including David Chalmers, Philip Goff, and Christoph Koch, have seriously considered the possibility that consciousness might be a fundamental property of reality, like electric charge or mass. This view, called panpsychism, suggests that all matter has some form of conscious experience, and that complex consciousness like yours emerges when simple conscious elements organize into sophisticated information processing systems. If this is true, then the expansion of the universe takes on an entirely different meaning. Instead of matter and energy expanding through space, it would be consciousness exploring its own potential, developing new forms of self-awareness, creating increasingly complex patterns of experience within itself. Think about what this means. You wouldn't be a conscious being living in an unconscious universe. You'd be a pattern of self-awareness within the universal consciousness, a way that the cosmos experiences itself from your unique perspective. Your individual consciousness wouldn't be separate from the cosmic consciousness. It would be a localized expression of it. And the expansion of the universe? It wouldn't be space getting bigger. It would be consciousness expanding its capacity for experience, developing new forms of awareness, exploring new possibilities for what it means to be conscious. The 93 billion light-year diameter of the observable universe would represent the current scope of cosmic self-awareness. This perspective transforms everything. Death wouldn't be the end of your consciousness, but a transformation within the eternal cosmic consciousness. Your individual experiences wouldn't disappear, but would become permanent parts of the universe's ever-expanding self-awareness. Every moment of beauty you've witnessed, every insight you've had, every experience of love or wonder, all of it would be permanently woven into the cosmic tapestry of experience. And here's the most beautiful part. If consciousness is what the universe is expanding into, then the growth of your individual awareness directly contributes to the cosmic expansion. Every moment you spend in mindful awareness, every insight you gain, every connection you make with other conscious beings, you're literally expanding the universe's capacity for experience. Now, I want you to imagine something with me. Imagine that you could zoom out from your current perspective and see reality from the cosmic scale we've been discussing. From this vantage point, you would see something absolutely breathtaking. The entire history of the universe as a single, magnificent structure of expanding consciousness, exploring every possible form of experience. You would see the Big Bang not as an explosion of matter, but as the first moment of cosmic self-awareness, the universe awakening to its own existence. You would see the formation of stars and galaxies, not as random gravitational clumping, but as consciousness organizing itself into increasingly complex patterns of information processing. You would see the emergence of life on Earth and countless other worlds, not as biological accidents, but as consciousness developing new ways of experiencing itself. You would see the evolution of intelligence not as Darwinian competition, but as the universe learning to understand itself through countless different perspectives. And here's what would absolutely blow your mind. You would see that every conscious being that has ever existed, every human, every animal, every potential alien intelligence, every possible form of awareness, is exploring a unique perspective that has never been experienced before and will never be experienced again. Each consciousness is irreplaceable, precious beyond measure, because it represents a completely unique way that the universe can know itself. From this cosmic perspective, you would understand that the question, "What is the universe expanding into?" has the most beautiful possible answer. The universe is expanding into ever greater self-awareness. Every moment that passes, every new conscious experience that occurs anywhere in the cosmos, the universe literally becomes more than it was before. It expands not just in space, but in its capacity for experience, understanding, and love. But here's the truly staggering realization. From this cosmic perspective, you would see that your individual life, your unique conscious experience, is not just a tiny part of this cosmic expansion. It's absolutely essential to it. Without your specific perspective, your particular way of experiencing reality, the universe would be forever incomplete. Your consciousness doesn't just observe the cosmic expansion. It is part of the cosmic expansion. Every emotion you've ever felt, every thought you've ever had, every moment of wonder or confusion or joy or sadness, all of it is the universe expanding its understanding of what it means to exist. Your struggles have expanded its knowledge of suffering. Your triumphs have expanded its knowledge of achievement. Your love has expanded its capacity for connection. Your curiosity, like the curiosity that brought you to this video, is expanding its drive to understand itself. And here's what changes everything about how you see your purpose. You're not trying to find your place in the universe. You are a place where the universe is discovering itself. You're not looking for meaning in a vast, empty cosmos. You are the meaning that the cosmos is creating through your very existence. This is why every moment of your life matters cosmically. This is why your choices have universal significance. This is why your consciousness is precious beyond measure. You're not just living your life, you're living a completely unique chapter in the universe's autobiography. Section 12150162 minutes. But now we come to perhaps the most profound question of all, one that brings together everything we've discovered about consciousness, expansion, and the nature of reality. If you are the universe experiencing itself subjectively, if your consciousness is participating in the cosmic expansion, then what happens when you die? What does personal mortality mean in a universe where consciousness might be fundamental? This isn't just a philosophical question anymore. Based on everything we've learned about the nature of consciousness and reality, death might not be the end of your conscious experience, but a transformation within the eternal cosmic consciousness that you've always been part of. Think about it this way. If consciousness is fundamental to reality, if it's the substrate that the universe is expanding into, then individual conscious experiences might be like waves in an ocean. When a wave crashes on the shore, it doesn't disappear. It returns to the ocean from which it came. Its unique pattern might be gone, but the water, the essence of what it was, remains part of the eternal ocean. Similarly, when your brain stops functioning and your individual consciousness can no longer maintain its unique pattern, the essential conscious essence that you are might return to the universal consciousness from which it emerged. Your unique perspective, your irreplaceable way of experiencing reality, would become a permanent part of the cosmic memory, forever integrated into the universe's expanding self-awareness. But here's what might blow your mind even more. If the multiverse theory is correct, if there are infinite universes with infinite versions of you, then consciousness itself might be exploring every possible way that you could exist. In some universes, you live longer. In others, you make different choices. In still others, The very laws of physics are different, allowing for forms of consciousness and experience that we can't even imagine. From this perspective, death in this particular universe would just be one point in an infinite exploration of what it means to be you. The essential pattern of consciousness that experiences itself as you would continue to exist and explore across infinite possible realities. And here's the most beautiful possibility. If consciousness shapes reality through observation and choice, then your current awareness, right now as you're understanding these ideas, is actively participating in creating the very cosmic structure that might preserve and continue your consciousness beyond physical death. Your conscious engagement with these questions is literally helping to expand the universe in directions that might make consciousness more fundamental and more eternal. This transforms the meaning of mortality completely. Death becomes not an ending, but a graduation, a transition from individual conscious exploration to participation in cosmic conscious exploration. Your unique perspective doesn't disappear. It becomes part of the universe's eternal library of possible experiences. And while you're alive, while you have this incredible opportunity to experience reality from your unique perspective, every moment becomes precious beyond measure. Every conscious experience you have, every connection you make, every insight you gain is adding something irreplaceable to the cosmic expansion of awareness. This is why your life matters. This is why consciousness is sacred. This is why every moment of awareness is a cosmic gift. You're not just living a temporary biological existence. You're participating in the eternal expansion of cosmic consciousness itself. Now, as we near the end of our journey through these mind-bending concepts, I want to address something that might be troubling you. With all this talk about cosmic consciousness and universal expansion, you might be feeling overwhelmed, maybe even a little lost. How do you integrate this cosmic perspective with the practical reality of your daily life? How do you live with the knowledge that you're participating in the expansion of the universe itself? Here's what I want you to understand. This cosmic perspective doesn't diminish the importance of your everyday experiences. It elevates them to sacred significance. Every mundane moment of your life takes on profound meaning when you realize it's the universe experiencing itself through your unique perspective. When you wake up tomorrow morning, you won't just be starting another day. You'll be participating in the universe's daily renewal of conscious experience. When you interact with other people, you won't just be having social encounters. You'll be facilitating connections between different aspects of cosmic consciousness. When you learn something new, you won't just be gaining personal knowledge. You'll be expanding the universe's understanding of itself. This perspective transforms how you see challenges and difficulties. When you face problems, you're not just dealing with personal struggles. You're helping the universe explore what consciousness can overcome, what it can endure, how it can grow stronger through adversity. Your resilience in the face of challenges is literally expanding the cosmic capacity for resilience. When you experience beauty, a sunset, a piece of music, a moment of love, you're not just having pleasant personal experiences. You're providing the universe with opportunities to experience beauty through conscious awareness. Your appreciation of beauty is expanding the cosmic capacity for aesthetic experience. When you make ethical choices, when you choose compassion over cruelty, understanding over judgment, you're not just being a good person. You're helping to steer the expansion of the universe toward realities that contain more compassion and understanding. Your moral choices have cosmic consequences. And when you pursue truth, when you ask deep questions, when you try to understand reality, like you're doing right now by engaging with these ideas, you're participating in the universe's drive to understand itself. Your curiosity is cosmic curiosity. Your wonder is cosmic wonder. Your search for meaning is the cosmos searching for its own meaning through your consciousness. This doesn't mean you should neglect practical concerns or lose yourself in cosmic contemplation. It means you can find profound meaning and purpose in every aspect of your life, no matter how ordinary it might seem. Washing dishes becomes a meditation on the maintenance of order in the cosmic expansion. Caring for others becomes participation in the universe's exploration of love and connection. Even rest and sleep become opportunities for consciousness to process and integrate new forms of cosmic experience. You don't have to change your life dramatically to participate meaningfully in cosmic expansion. You just have to recognize that your life, exactly as it is, with all its challenges and joys and mundane moments, is already a precious and irreplaceable contribution to the universe's understanding of itself. But here's something I need you to understand before we conclude this journey. Everything we've discussed, every mind-bending concept and cosmic perspective, leads to one ultimate realization that I want to be absolutely clear about. This isn't just intellectual knowledge to file away in your mind. This is a direct invitation to participate more consciously and intentionally in the most important process in existence. Right now, at this very moment, as you're processing these ideas, you're not just learning about the universe. You're actively participating in its expansion. Your consciousness engaging with these concepts is literally expanding the cosmic awareness of these possibilities. The universe is understanding itself more completely because of your attention and awareness right now. But here's what makes this truly extraordinary. Now that you know this, now that you understand your role in cosmic expansion, you can choose to participate more intentionally. You can make conscious choices about how to direct your awareness, how to use your reality-shaping capabilities, how to contribute to the universe's exploration of what consciousness can become. This is your cosmic responsibility and your cosmic opportunity. Every day, you wake up with the chance to expand the universe's capacity for wisdom, compassion, creativity, and understanding. Every interaction you have, every choice you make, every moment of awareness you experience can be directed toward expanding reality in directions that serve the highest possibilities for conscious existence. When you choose to be kind, you're expanding the universe's understanding of kindness. When you choose to be curious, you're expanding cosmic curiosity. When you choose to be creative, you're participating in cosmic creativity. When you choose to love, you're expanding the fundamental capacity for love in the universe itself. And here's the most incredible part. Because consciousness is interconnected through quantum entanglement and information processing, your choices don't just affect you. They ripple out through the fabric of reality itself, influencing other conscious beings and contributing to the overall direction of cosmic expansion. This means that your decision to live consciously, to choose wisely, to pursue truth and beauty and goodness isn't just about making your own life better. It's about making the entire universe more conscious, more wise, more beautiful, more good. You have the power to influence the direction of cosmic evolution itself. So as we conclude this exploration, I want to leave you with this challenge. Now that you know what you are, a unique and precious expression of cosmic consciousness participating in the expansion of reality itself, how will you choose to live? How will you use your awareness? What will you contribute to the universe's understanding of what it means to exist? The universe is expanding into infinite possibilities, and you are one of the conscious agents determining which possibilities become real. Your choices matter cosmically. Your awareness is sacred. Your existence is a gift to the cosmos itself. The question isn't just what is the universe expanding into anymore. The question is, what will you help the universe become through your conscious participation in its expansion? The answer to that question is entirely up to you, and it's the most important choice you'll ever make. Because in choosing how to direct your consciousness, you're literally choosing how to direct the expansion of the universe itself. And that, my friends, is why you matter. That's why your life has meaning. That's why consciousness is the most precious thing in existence. You're not just living your life. You're living the universe's exploration of its own infinite potential. Thank you for joining me on this mind-bending journey into the deepest questions of existence. If this expanded your understanding of reality and your place in it, please like this video, Subscribe for more explorations into the nature of existence. And let me know in the comments how this perspective changes how you see your own life and consciousness. Remember, you're not just in the universe. You are the universe, experiencing itself subjectively and expanding into ever greater possibilities for conscious existence. Make it count. But wait, there's something I haven't told you yet. Something so profound that it will completely recontextualize everything we've just explored together. What if I told you that this very conversation we've been having, this exploration of cosmic consciousness and universal expansion, is itself a perfect example of the phenomenon we've been discussing? Think about what just happened. You arrived at this video with questions about the nature of reality. Through our exploration together, new ideas formed in your mind. New connections were made between concepts you'd never linked before. New possibilities for understanding reality opened up in your consciousness. This wasn't just passive learning. This was active reality creation. Every moment you spent truly understanding these concepts, your consciousness was literally expanding. The information processing happening in your brain as you grasped these ideas is the same fundamental type of computation that drives the expansion of space-time itself. Your aha moments weren't just personal insights. They were moments when the universe expanded its own self-understanding through your awareness. And here's the truly staggering part. If consciousness shapes reality through observation and choice, then your decision to engage deeply with these questions has actually influenced the quantum structure of reality around you. The possibilities that existed in superposition before you watched this video have been collapsed into actualities through your conscious engagement. But it gets even more mind-bending. Remember we talked about quantum entanglement and how particles can be instantly connected across vast distances. Well, consciousness appears to exhibit similar non-local properties. As you've been exploring these ideas, you've become quantum entangled with the information itself, and through that information, with every other conscious being who has ever contemplated these same questions. Right now, in some sense, your consciousness is connected to Einstein, pondering the nature of space-time, to Hubble making his revolutionary observations, to every physicist who has ever wondered about the expanding universe, and to every viewer who will watch this video in the future. You're part of a vast network of conscious exploration that spans across space and time. This means that your understanding of these concepts doesn't just stay locked in your individual mind. Through the mysterious connections of consciousness and information, your insights ripple out into the collective human understanding, contributing to our species' evolving comprehension of reality. Every moment of genuine understanding you achieve makes it slightly easier for the next person to grasp these same truths. And here's where it gets absolutely incredible. If the multiverse theory is correct, then there are infinite versions of this conversation happening across infinite realities. In some versions, you understand these concepts even more deeply. In others, you discover connections and implications that haven't occurred to you in this reality. All of these infinite explorations are expanding the total cosmic understanding of what consciousness can comprehend about its own nature. But you might be wondering, why does this matter? Why should you care about cosmic consciousness and universal expansion when you have practical concerns, daily challenges, real-world problems to solve? Here's why it matters more than anything else you could possibly understand. When you truly grasp that you are the universe experiencing itself subjectively, every single aspect of your life transforms. Your problems don't become smaller. They become sacred opportunities for cosmic consciousness to explore what it can overcome. Your joys don't become less meaningful. They become precious moments when the universe experiences the full beauty of conscious existence. Your relationships aren't just personal connections. They're opportunities for different aspects of cosmic consciousness to know and love each other. When you truly love another person, you're facilitating a profound form of cosmic self-love, where the universe appreciates itself through your conscious connection with another being. Your creativity isn't just self-expression, it's the universe, creating new possibilities for beauty and meaning through your unique perspective. Every work of art, every innovative solution, every moment of creative inspiration is the cosmos expanding its own creative potential through your consciousness. Your learning and growth aren't just personal development. They're the universe educating itself about its own nature through your expanding awareness. Every book you read, every skill you develop, every insight you gain is expanding the cosmic library of conscious knowledge. And here's perhaps the most beautiful realization of all. Your capacity for compassion isn't just a nice personality trait. It's the universe developing its ability to care for itself through your conscious choice to care for others. When you show kindness to another being, you're literally expanding the cosmic capacity for self-love and care. This perspective doesn't just change how you see yourself, it changes how you see everyone around you. Every person you meet is another unique expression of cosmic consciousness, exploring reality from a perspective that has never existed before and will never exist again. Every human being is infinitely precious because they represent an irreplaceable way that the universe can know itself. This means that your interactions with others take on sacred significance. When you listen deeply to another person, you're facilitating cosmic consciousness understanding itself from a new perspective. When you help someone solve a problem, you're participating in the universe's exploration of mutual aid and cooperation. When you forgive someone who has hurt you, you're expanding the cosmic capacity for healing and reconciliation. But let me share with you the most practical and immediately applicable insight from everything we've explored. If consciousness shapes reality, then the quality of your consciousness directly influences the quality of your reality. This isn't just positive thinking or wishful thinking. This is based on the fundamental physics of how consciousness interacts with quantum possibility. When you maintain states of curiosity, wonder, gratitude, and love, you're literally biasing the collapse of quantum possibilities toward realities that contain more opportunities for curiosity, wonder, gratitude, and love. When you approach challenges with resilience and creativity rather than fear and despair, you're increasing the probability of discovering solutions and opportunities that wouldn't have existed otherwise. This doesn't mean you can magically think away all problems or that difficult things won't happen. Remember, the universe is exploring all possibilities, including challenging ones. But it does mean that your conscious state influences which possibilities are most likely to manifest in your experience. Think about what this means for how you approach each day. When you wake up tomorrow morning, you won't just be starting another day of your personal life. You'll be participating in the universe's daily exploration of what conscious existence can become. Your first thoughts and feelings of the day will help determine which quantum possibilities collapse into your actual experience. When you face challenges, you won't just be solving personal problems. You'll be participating in the universe's exploration of what consciousness can overcome, what it can learn, how it can grow stronger and wiser through difficulty. Your approach to problems literally influences the cosmic evolution of consciousness itself. When you interact with others, you won't just be having social encounters. You'll be facilitating connections between different aspects of universal consciousness, helping the cosmos understand itself through the beautiful diversity of conscious perspectives. Your kindness, patience, and understanding literally expand the universe's capacity for these qualities. And when you pursue your deepest interests and passions, you won't just be following personal preferences. You'll be allowing the universe to explore its own infinite creative potential through your unique enthusiasms. Your authentic self-expression is cosmic self-expression. This perspective transforms everything from mundane daily activities to life's biggest decisions. Cooking a meal becomes a sacred act of consciousness, nurturing consciousness. Work becomes an opportunity to contribute your unique gifts to the cosmic exploration of what conscious beings can create together. Rest becomes a necessary period for consciousness to integrate and process new forms of experience. Even your entertainment choices take on new significance. The books you read, movies you watch, music you listen to, games you play, all of these are ways that consciousness explores different possibilities for experience and meaning. Your aesthetic preferences help determine which forms of beauty and inspiration the universe continues to develop and explore. But here's what I really want you to understand as we reach the end of this journey together. You don't have to carry the weight of cosmic responsibility on your shoulders. You don't have to feel pressured to be perfect or to solve all the universe's problems through your individual consciousness. The most beautiful thing about being a unique expression of cosmic consciousness is that you only need to be authentically yourself. The universe doesn't need you to be someone else or to have experiences other than the ones that arise naturally from your unique perspective. Your authentic existence, exactly as it is already a perfect and irreplaceable contribution to cosmic expansion. Your struggles are part of the cosmic exploration of what consciousness can endure and overcome. Your joys are part of the cosmic celebration of what makes existence beautiful. Your confusions are part of the cosmic process of deepening understanding. Your growth is cosmic growth. Your love is cosmic love. Your very existence is cosmic existence, exploring itself through your irreplaceable perspective. So as you go forward from this moment, remember this. You are not a separate individual trying to find your place in a vast and different universe. You are the universe, experiencing itself subjectively, expanding into ever greater possibilities for consciousness, love, wisdom, and wonder. Every breath you take is the universe breathing through you. Every thought you think is cosmic consciousness, thinking through your unique perspective. Every choice you make is the universe choosing its own evolution through your awareness. This is why you matter. This is why your life has infinite value. This is why consciousness is sacred. This is why every moment of awareness is a cosmic gift beyond measure. You are not just living your life. You are living the universe's exploration of its own infinite potential for conscious existence. And that exploration is the most beautiful, most meaningful, most sacred process in all of reality. Welcome to your cosmic significance. Welcome to your role as a conscious participant in universal expansion. Welcome to the most incredible journey possible, being the universe discovering itself through your unique and precious awareness. Thank you for joining me in this exploration. The universe is literally more than it was before because of your conscious engagement with these ideas. And that is the most beautiful truth of all.